In Synlab 9 Print and Cut and Vinyl Pro, you'll find a wealth of new special effects and transparency features that will enable you to create great looking designs in no time at all. These new toolsets have been designed to work effortlessly with our native contour cutting technology, and as you'll see in this feature presentation, our design and contour cutting workflow is still way ahead of the competition. Now on screen are my start objects for this design, a vector background, some lettering and this stunning car image. First, let's position the image on the vector background. I want to clip around the outside of the car, and to do this I'm going to use a fluid mask. Now, a fluid mask is not new to Synlab 9, but it is one of the tools that has been perfected with the introduction of transparency support. Fluid Mask has placed lines on the image marking natural boundaries and colour changes. Now, using a series of brushes, I can highlight areas to keep, and areas to delete. Now, even with such a busy background, you can see Fluid Mask has done a pretty good job of isolating the car from the other areas. There's just a couple of small spots where I need to do some manual adjustment. Okay, so now all the green areas will be kept, the red areas will be deleted, and the blue in between represents our transparency blend between these two parts. When the image is saved back to Synlab, this transparency data will be used to create a flawless blend between the image and its new background. And as I zoom in and move around, you can see there are no nasty white edges. I have created this simple vector shape that I will now drop between the car and the blue background to form a shadow. Now at the moment it's a bit too hard edged, so I'm going to use a Gaussian blur to soften things up. Here I can simply adjust the degree of blur to get the desired effect. Okay, and I can now delete the original vector path to leave a nice soft shadow, which I will now reposition under the car. The transparency support in Synlab 9 enables this kind of effect to be achieved without the need to embed the shadow in a bitmap background. What this means is I can now move the shadow to any position on the background, or even change the background color, all without affecting the new drop shadow. This kind of functionality will enable you to make colour and position changes in a fraction of the time it would normally take. Adjusting the opacity of the shadow is also simple using the new Transparency Opacity plugin. I can easily make the shadow less or more visible by adjusting these property sliders. This is yet another task that would have previously only been possible by starting from scratch. Now to finish off, let's make the text a little more interesting. First I'm going to make a copy on top and give it a different colour. And then with the bottom copy selected, I'm going to apply a motion blur, another of the new plugin features. Once again, this effect is independent of my background, allowing for easy design adjustments. Okay, so I've finished my design. It contains bitmaps, vectors, hard and soft edges, so you would think adding a contour path to turn this into a decal would be a complex task, but in fact it couldn't be easier. Selecting all the objects except the background, I'll launch the contour cut features from the cut menu. Now for a nice close-in contour line, set the offset to 0. Click and apply will reveal the monochrome threshold filter, and setting this to 255 will leave me with a contour line that flows around all of the objects perfectly with no awkward clipping. To give the edge of this decal some space, I'm actually going to set a small offset to the contour line, click apply, and then OK, and we're all done. This finished design is now ready for production. Synlab 9 offers a wealth of design tools together with an unmatched contour cutting workflow that makes creating small and large format print and cut products a breeze. Check out our other Synlab 9 feature presentations online at www.cadlink.com.